Tonight is April 9th, and this is a live recording of session 35 of our D&D campaign, Dungeons & Drogans. Last session, Rekoj and Coltaine simultaneously kicked the doors open, revealing a horde of zombies. A small impish figure hovered behind the zombie horde. It cast spells on the Drogans as they battled the zombies. A female tiefling emerged from behind the zombies, then made subtle gestures before there was an eruption of flames that left 5 of the 10 remaining zombies charred husks that crumbled to the ground. A ghoulish figure then scrambled forward from the darkness and attacked the tiefling. With ferocious claws it tore into her flesh and bloodied her. The Drogans, Wintier, and the tiefling Sorrow then killed the zombies and the ghoul, but in the chaos of the battle the imp fled. According to the tiefling, it went to warn Calarel. It was at this point that the tiefling introduced herself as Sorrow and revealed that she works or worked for Calarel, but after witnessing his gross incompetence, decided to join the winning team. Sorrow revealed to Wintier that she knew Ninaran, his cousin, that she had been brainwashed to work for Calarel, and that the Drogans killed her. After some debate, the Drogans, Wintier, and Sorrow prepared to confront Calarel on the lower levels. You descend the steps into a hallway. To the east lies a pair of double doors.
You know what that means.
To your south lies a shattered door in an open doorway, and to your north is another pair of double doors closed.
Coltaine speaks to Sorrow and asks her, "Which way should we go to finally defeat Calarel? And are there any complications we should be aware of?"
Well, he's on this floor. This is, another floor. He's on the one below. If you want to get to Calarel, the fastest way is to the east.
Well then, who's with me? What do you say we just go east? Fastest to Calarel.
Be careful. There could be vampires and priests of Orcus here too.
Did you say vampires?
Yes.
That's to the south.
I forgot my garlic again.
I'm pretty sure that they're all around here, but the fastest way to Calarel is going east.
Well, I for
put
one.
Rekoj in front. His breath might fend them off.
Is there any way to make sure that these vampires and stuff don't sneak up on us?
You could walk back to back.
I suppose we could try killing them all before going down.
Well,
He is pretty incompetent, right?
killing them all would be a good idea, but anyway, to go down, it's a noticeable descent, so they will see us right away and they will go surround us.
What do you
Yeah,
mean
I don't want to get
notice-
surrounded.
What do you mean it's a notable descent?
Like it's in an open area. They will see people going down.
So I guess we gotta kill them first.
East we go.
Is there a good way we could go which would give us an element of surprise against them?
We could have Rekoj smash through the walls. That might scare them and surprise them.
There isn't really a way to surprise them. In fact, they might be able to hear us right now.
Alright then,
Okay, let's just
let's
go.
just move forward then. I'll stay in front of you, Sorrow. You aren't quite as tough as Rekoj here.
So, Rekoj, you said there's a double door, right?
Yep.
Rekoj checks if it's locked.
There's no lock on the door.
Okay, so he says to Coltaine, same thing as before, open at the same time.
Alright,
So, we'll do the countdown, like 3, 2, 1, and then open the door.
that's right.
The Drogans head east, up to the double doors, and then Coltaine and Rekoj simultaneously swing them open. Revealed is an enormous chamber. Crimson streams trail across the floor and flow through a grate surrounding a hole in the floor of this shadowy cathedral. A dais along the eastern wall appears to supply the blood. A human in dark robes stands before a wall carving that depicts a ram-headed demon. The robed figure holds up a knife and sings the praises of the demon lord Orcus. A tattoo of a ram's skull covers the man's face. Blue-green light emanates from crystal columns. Standing next to 2 of these columns are powerful humans clad in dark leather and carrying axes. their spit-flecked lips moving in unending prayers. Roll initiative.
Everyone, please don't forget +2 bonus
Yeah,
from
okay.
Coltaine's inspiring presence.
Rekoj gets a total of 24.
Sorrow gets a total of 6.
Wait.
Autumn gets a total of 10.
Coltaine gets a total of 6.
There we go. Total of 14. Sorry, total of
Isn't that a
12.
total of-
Yeah. It's gonna be a long fight.
Quick question. Was the last battle versus the zombies the first battle of our day?
I'm pretty sure it was.
Darn.
Why?
If we did 2 combats, well, first of all, Autumn would have had her milestone, and I would have gotten my action point back.
We did 1 combat.
Rekoj is up.
Rekoj decides that obviously the most dangerous person in the room must be the person who's blabbering on the far side of the room, so he makes a line directly for him. Of course, sidestepping the pool of blood.
This right here, that is a pit. 10 by 10 pit surrounded by a grate.
Right, so he's like avoiding that, right? So
I'd hope so.
Maybe we should
Maybe
try to
there are
knock
good
enemies
people
into
in there.
Rekoj is a good person.
Good people. Good people.
So Rekoj makes a straight dash for the priest or whatever it is.
Guys, I told you I didn't want to get snug up on.
Wintier notices a vicious creature, a vicious humanoid with fangs and red eyes, sneaking up from behind.
You could close the door and leave Rekoj in there.
Well, yeah, we had that nice position in front of the door, bottlenecking it. Rekoj runs out like an idiot. He's gonna get surrounded. We got bad guys coming in behind us, which we knew were gonna come in behind us.
That's very true.
Well, how about we let him tank everything else, and we'll take care of the people behind us, and if we have to, we can flee.
Okay, but maybe we should close the doors and lock them first with rope or something.
There
Yeah,
are
sounds
probably
good to
ways
me.
around.
One of the powerful humans charges at Rekoj drawing a great axe and chops into him for 7 damage. The priest of Orcus mutters an incantation, and dark energy swirls at Rekoj. Rekoj takes 15 points of necrotic damage and suffers a -2 AC penalty until the end of the priest's next turn.
I think this is an epic fail in the making.
And the world is destroyed.
I blame Rekoj, it's his fault.
The second powerful human grabs his great axe and charges Rekoj for 7 damage. Rekoj down to 21 hit points, bloodied.
Oh my god, there's more than one of
Another,
those.
yes, another fanged creature, let's just call them what they are, another vampire rushes up from behind, engaging Wintier, Autumn, and Sorrow in melee.
Oh, it's on.
And a third is heading towards them from behind. Autumn is up.
Let's see here. Alright, I'll hit or attack the vampire-like creature just to the north of Winter with Riposte Strike. 14 versus AC. And if that hits, it'll do 5 damage.
The vampire dodges Autumn's katars.
And I'm totally gonna shift to the right one square.
Autumn disengaging, shifting east. Coltaine.
Oh boy. Coltaine is torn by tactical indecision, but doesn't even think he could get to Rekoj and heal him in time. So instead tries to focus on getting these spawn off our back, these vampires. So he strikes out at the vampire creature next to Sorrow and Winter, but that's a 16. Unlikely to hit.
The vampire dodges the halberd.
He then moves closer into range of Rekoj, as close as he can.
Sorrow.
Sorrow's gonna shift a square away from the vampire and use Ray of Frost against him. 20 versus Fortitude, hit for 10 cold damage.
A blistering cold ray of white frost streaks to the vampire. It freezes in place, turning into a solid block of ice and then shatters to pieces.
That was surprisingly easy.
Wintier.
Winter doesn't feel like doing anything this turn. I do a...
Oh, great.
So I mark the nearest vampire as my quarry. And I perform a twin strike, aiming the first arrow at the quarry and the second arrow at the second vampire. And I roll a total of 12 on each, which I don't think is going to be enough to hit.
Both miss. That ends round 1. One of these vampires down, Rekoj bloodied in the first round of combat. That doesn't happen very often. Things looking a little shaky. Not the best start to battle, but it's not over yet. Another vampire rushes in. This one getting behind Wintier, actually getting between Wintier and Autumn.
Cheeky.
And another. Wintier is now completely cut off from Sorrow and Autumn. Vampires to the right of him. Vampires to the left of him. Here he is, caught in the middle. Rekoj.
That -2 to AC, can I make a save for it?
No.
That sucks. Alright, Rekoj moves and we'll mark the priest.
So Rekoj provoking an opportunity attack? 2 of them?
Ah, crap, you're right, eh? Tricky little thing there. Yeah, I'll do it.
Alright, as Rekoj charges away east, one of the powerful humans swings his greatsword, and you hear him shout out, "Ugh!" And then he puts a hand to his back. He seems to have thrown out his back. The other one, however, does hit Rekoj for 6 damage. Rekoj down to 15 hit points.
Just tell that guy to lay down and take it easy for a while.
Should put hot on his back and then cold and then hot again.
Yeah, I get that hot cold from Shaq.
I hear Coltaine's halberd is pretty hot.
Yeah, jam that in his back, and then Sorrow can freeze it.
Okay. Once I get into melee range with the priest, I mark him as my target, which actually forces him to like get stuck at that point. And then I will use what the hell? In this case, Strength of Stone attack on the priest. Roll of 17 for a possible 15 damage.
The priest dodges Rekoj's axe.
Bloody hell. Then he shouts out for the others to get in here.
A vampire moves in to flank Wintier and claws Wintier for 5 damage. Wintier down to 25 hit points. A creature comes in behind the vampires.
Looks like a pedophile.
It appears to be, it seems like a dark, twisted version of a gnome. Pale skin, sharp yellow teeth. It grins as it sees you.
Oh, so it's friendly.
Hi! Oh god, don't acknowledge it.
It draws a dagger and hurls it at Wintier. Wintier dodges just in time.
Now that's not friendly.
I told you he's not friendly.
But he was grinning.
An evil, toothy grin.
I didn't hear the evil part.
Anything that smiles at us is generally evil. Because if they knew the stuff we did, they wouldn't be smiling.
One of the powerful humanoids advances to protect the underpriest and chops into Rekoj for 10 damage. Rekoj down to 5 hit points. The underpriest draws a mace and beats Rekoj in the face. Rekoj takes 11 damage and goes down. The other powerful human now heads for Coltaine and chops into the man for 9 damage. Coltaine down to 26 hit points. Wintier's quarry advances on him. Wintier now has 4 vampires surrounding him. Wintier clawed for 5 damage down to 20 hit points. Autumn is up.
Right. I'm gonna attack the zombie to my west with a torturous strike. 9 versus AC. Oh, bloody hell.
Autumn missing with her encounter power. Coltaine.
Coltaine ignores the human behind him, rushes back to his allies.
The human takes a swing at Coltaine and chops into his back for 16 damage. Coltaine down to 10 hit points.
Coltaine takes a moment to inspire himself, muttering, "It's only a flesh wound." And then he strikes at the vampire directly to the west of Sorrow. No, he strikes at the vampire directly between Autumn and Wintier.
Coltaine back up to 24 hit points.
And that's a 9 on my daily power bastion of defense. Still, everyone gets 9 temporary hit points.
Sweet.
Coltaine missing at a critical time, nonetheless still bestowing some benefit upon his allies. Sorrow.
If I do AoE, friendly fire takes damage, right?
It depends on the power. Some powers state enemies in burst or whatever. Some state all creatures. In general, wizard powers are not friendly.
Okay then. Sorrow takes a step back and apologizes to Wintier, saying it's for the greater good, and does a scorching burst centered on the quarry.
Is this a blast or a burst?
It's a burst, but it's centered on a target, I think.
Gotcha.
Don't worry,
So,
Sorrow. I'll take it like a boss.
I'm gonna go 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, I'll
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sounds good.
exactly.
So Wintier is target number 4.
I hit
Yep.
miss everyone except for Wintier. Let's see. How much you wanna bet? How much you guys wanna bet?
I'll bet whatever gold I have left.
Okay, okay. Okay. Attack number 1 is this is all versus reflex. Attack number 1 is 12, number 2 is 18, number 3 is 16, number 4 is 17, and number 5 is 21, and it hits for 6 fire damage.
Attack number 1 misses. Attack number 2 hits. Attack number 3 misses. Attack number 4 on Wintier hits. Attack number 5 hits. That is 2 misses, 3 hits. 2 of the vampires burn up and then disintegrate into ash. Wintier taking 6 points of damage, leaving him with 3 out of an initial 9 temporary hit points. So not all, not all bad.